Welcome to Create, the podcast where we break down the content strategies of successful brands and creators. And today we're taking a look at Alex Hormozi.
Now, if you haven't heard of Alex Hormozi, here's a quick overview. He's a first-generation Iranian-American entrepreneur who started with one struggling gym back in 2013. Today, he runs acquisition.com, a company that helps scale businesses, and he's done it all while building a personal brand that's impossible to ignore.
And what's made him stand out is how he shares the journey. So since 2020, Alex has been consistently showing up online, long-form YouTube videos, punchy Instagram reels, value-packed Twitter threads, and his strategy: share everything, teach what he knows, and do it for free.
It worked. 100 million offer became a bestseller. The Game podcast is one of the top ranked in business, and his following has exploded to millions across platforms.
In a landscape where attention is currency, Alex has figured out how to turn content into trust and trust into serious business growth.
So in this episode, we're breaking down his strategy, how he evolved, and what you can take from it to level up your own content. Let's get into it.
All right, awesome. Well, I find Alex Hormozi an interesting one simply because it is a name that we hear so often when people book discovery calls with us.
Yeah.
Or whenever someone starts to create content and we ask them for references of what do you want it to look like, they will be like, I want it to be like Alex Hormozi.
I literally have a guy with whom I spoke this week who is going to be onboarded.
And we have another person, I think last month, that onboarded, also new to content in the business niche. And everyone is, I want to have it look like Alex Hormozi. We see it when people apply as video editors very often. Like you'll see like the green and yellow caption style that was so popular. Or popularized by Alex Hormozi a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So it is a name, for me, to be honest, that I laugh at when I hear it again.
Yeah, or Alex Hormozi or Imad Gadzi. And those
especially in the business niche, like those are the two that you'll hear.
References,
And then I will always have to tell our team, be mindful, because often people throw those names around because they want to be like these people, not necessarily because their content is going to resemble that style.
Yeah.
But there is a lot to learn from what Alex has done.
Oh, indeed. What can you say about that specifically? Like,
well, the thing is, for me, I think the first time I heard about him or the first time I saw a piece of content was 2020. But he's been doing it a lot longer. I think that's the first thing that I maybe would want to point out. So you'll see these videos online about how Alex explains how he went from 30,000 Instagram followers to over 300,000 in 6 months. But what people tend to forget is he was doing it for years before then.
And the funny thing about it, I actually didn't know that was his, like what he taught before actually doing this research. Apparently, Alex Hormozi in the beginning, he wasn't believing in content and he was against content. He felt like content wasn't worth. And then he switched because he understood like...
But do you know why?
No, I don't. Why?
He actually explains this. He says he was very much business minded. He was doing the gyms and then he was launching gyms around the country. And then he did have sort of, I would say, an informational product kind of business, because he was basically charging gyms to apply a system that he had built to their gym. And then he saw that Kylie Jenner became a billionaire, or at least she was on Forbes as one of the youngest billionaires. And then The Rock launched, I think it was like an alcohol beverage.
Yeah.
And like he became like super, like it just sold itself. And at that point, he realized, oh, the reason these people are being so successful in business is because they have a personal brand. And so that's why he started doing it.
Okay.
Because he said, like, I think part of it was also like, I am definitely better than Kylie Jenner and The Rock at business. So why are they being more successful than I am? And so that's actually why he started doing the
Okay, good to know, because I was pretty surprised when I saw that. I was like, okay, wow. Why? How come he switched totally? So maybe that was.
But I understand it in a sense because I sort of have the same thing. Like I want to be taken serious as, oh, she knows a lot about business and about like building a team. And then for me, I would hate it if like people watched my content and think like all I do is like create funny reels or stuff like that. So I do understand. I think there's a lot of people in business, to be honest, who sort of still look at content and think of like, oh, that might actually damage my reputation more than it helps, which isn't the case. We've talked about this before. Even for me, like I took a social media break for 2 to 3 years. And every time that I post a story, and I don't actively post on my accounts, but every time that I post a story, a conversation will come out of that. We've had clients because of that, people who joined the team because of that. So it works every single time. But we do aim to keep these episodes
because I was already going to say,
the last one. We can keep going. We know ourselves. But maybe a good thing to do is sort of break down just sort of the content strategy that Alex uses, how much time it takes him to create that much content, and then how people can adapt that to their own brand. Because maybe that's also one of the key takeaways that I want people to have from this episode is you don't have to create content exactly like Alex Hormozi to be as successful as Alex Hormozi, because that's something, like I said, we see people say, oh, I want to do Iman Gadzhi, I want to do Alex Hormozi. And they in no way have the setup to shoot content like that.
Yeah.
But it's just they aspire to be like these people. But there's a difference between aspiring to be like someone or creating the content that's exactly the same. That's one. Plus, and it's something that Alex did very well, he has now again changed his content style.
That's what I was gonna,
people started copying it. And then his team went, okay, now we have to shift again. Because
I have a question regarding that. Do you feel like he changed style because it was simpler to produce so that he could produce more? Because I feel like the previous style had a lot of motion graphics. Now he pretty much goes like one setup, different camera angles from the top, and then.
Well, I think there's multiple reasons to it. So first of all, too many people started doing what he was doing. And if you want to be the leader in the industry, like you have to actually be different, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if too many people adapt to this style that they would switch it up again. And then second, I think it's also because he kept preaching about just like record with what you have, record the process. He keeps like some of the YouTube videos that he did early on was literally him sitting in his office, like a crappy office with a webcam, and they did very well. It's just him sitting and explaining. He's a really good storyteller. He's very eloquent. He knows how to take a complex idea and just break it down in simple sentences so everyone can understand. So that plays in his favor when it comes to setup or motion graph. He doesn't need all of that to convey what he wants to say. So I think it's also a conscious choice to let's go for simplicity so people know I'm all about the message. Now, simplicity is still like, even with the new style, it's a multicam camera setup. The studio is probably built, right?
And it's even better quality as well. I think
it's better. Like everything is color graded. It's like, it's better than before, but still like you could do something similar for not the budget that he is spending.
Indeed.
Yeah. But that brings us sort of to his structure of creating content, which I do think is something that a lot of people can learn from. It's not just Alex Hormozi who does this, but he is really good at just testing stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I know that the team from Diary of a CEO do the same thing. So in different ways. Let me explain. So Alex Hormozi tests his content on Twitter before creating video. So he will go to the gym and he will just like start tweeting threads of thoughts. Based on the reaction to the Twitter threads, he will decide which topics will make it into a long form video that can then be repurposed as shorts.
Okay.
So it's literally just him spewing his thoughts. And then based on audience interaction and reaction to those thoughts, he will then decide, oh, this isn't worth.
Okay, so it's actually, so his content is actually data driven.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how he goes about it. He explains this as well when he explains his content strategy. He says like, I will just start writing. I will go to the gym, 16, 20 tweets while I'm at the gym. And then based on, oh, this one did the best, for example, or this thread did the best, or sometimes even based on interactions of the audience, if they like agree with it or not agree with it, then he will create his long form scripts based off of the threads that have done the best. And the Diary of a CEO does something similar for YouTube thumbnails. So they will actually run 16 to 20 variations of YouTube thumbnails as Facebook ads for a low budget. And then simply based on what ads get the most clicks, they will decide to run those as YouTube thumbnails.
Okay.
So
that's interesting.
It's a good tip if you're listening, is what we often see with clients coming to us. An example is the guy who joined 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Is don't spend too much time creating an entire video content series and then spending like days and weeks like figuring out your setup and recording and re-recording it without having any data on, is this the messaging that resonates with the people that I'm trying to reach? Yeah. So find yourself a fast-paced platform like Twitter if you like to write, Instagram, TikTok, anything where you can post stories or have polls and have people react. And then based on the interaction that you get, that's when you decide, okay, this topic would be, or this angle would be a good angle to make a video about. Instead of the other way around. Actually trying to perfect without with assumptions or what you feel like your audience is looking for. It's what a lot of people do.
Yeah, it's natural.
Yeah.
It's human. You feel like this is the message I want to take out, but maybe that's not what people want to hear.
Or it's not what resonates with them. And sometimes, especially if you are more in an informational niche, there's a difference between what people want to hear and what they need to hear. And you have to sort of hook them with what they want to hear to then teach them what they need
to hear. Yeah.
But a lot of people that come through Clipmasters or are just starting out, they're like, no, but this is the message that I want to tell. But if people aren't ready for that, like it's just going to land on, how do you say, deaf men's ears? Is that the saying?
Yeah, well.
This sounds right. I will go with that.
Yeah. Well, it goes in here, it goes the other way around. Like.
So instead, figure out what kind of language your audience already speaks. And then once you've grabbed their attention with that, that's when you can start telling the other stuff that they need to hear, which is Alex Hormozi also, like he found sort of his content pillars because he made the transition from talking about, I think in the beginning it was weight loss programs that he was selling and like very much like gym content, now to business mogul. And I remember even seeing a video of him explaining like how he gets his protein in the typical Alex Hormozi fashion of like, it doesn't have to be so complex. Here is a bag of shrimp. Eat all of the shrimp. You'll have like 80 grams of protein and then you have a bunch of calories left that you can go and eat dessert. Because that's another thing that they have this thing, him and his wife, where they're like, they eat dessert every single day, but they're like crazy in shape. So people started asking, how do you do that? And then he starts explaining, well, I try to get my protein in as early as possible with as little calories as possible, which has nothing to do with business or the audience he's necessarily talking to now, but to make that transition from being, oh, he's a personal trainer and he does gyms to...
Yeah, maybe to add something to that, because from the clients we also see at Clipmasters, a lot of them think about their strategy, like they think too much about their strategy without actually putting content out there while thinking. Because I feel like if you put out content, put out as much as possible, start putting out content, and then you can analyze, you can actually strategize based on that. But a lot of them will do strategy on paper, and then they have expectations, and then they get frustrated. They don't understand why it doesn't work. And they try to perfect every specific piece of content instead of actually being in the mindset of putting out and then figuring out as you put it out.
Yeah, but I do understand it. Like, especially if you're trying to grow a business or like, you know, a lot about a topic and you want to be taken seriously. I think it's also a way where people try to protect themselves by
Sure.
overthinking.
Mm.
Like, if I can just strategize enough, it's going to work. But that's not really how it actually works. It's like you try a lot of stuff, you throw a lot of stuff at the wall, and then you see what sticks, which is the same for us.
No, that's what I was going to say.
We're doing Create, and we really want to do the show so that people can learn from these other creators and other brands and see how they can apply that themselves, that it's not actually as complex as like you think, because once you listen to multiple episodes, you're noticing, oh, this brand does the same as this brand. And like, you'll start noticing that. But then initially we were like, let's try and keep it very informational. But then if we look at what does well on social, it's like the silly stuff that we talk about in between. Yeah, that actually, the informational stuff. It's what makes me laugh when I'm reviewing the content.
No, I always like that piece of content you mentioned earlier. I watched it and I was like, I started laughing.
It's also because then you show some of your personality and people can relate to you, because we are not actually this serious.
No, yeah.
When we talk to each other, like this is
and I think people are going to see how this evolves throughout the Create podcast, throughout the episodes, where, for example, you had to help me a lot with me being more at my ease.
This
in
was
front of hilarious
the camera. At the start for me.
Yeah, so
it's so much better now, though.
No, I know. I love this game.
Of course. Sorry, I gave you a compliment, but you already know it's fine.
Well, back to Hormozi. So we've spoken about the way he strategizes his content and the way he puts it out, and also we've spoken about the structure. Do you think he has an internal team, or he outsources the production, maybe the post-production? Because
I do think he has an internal team, but they might also work with, like, I don't think they have a full-time videographer. They do vlogs as well, so maybe now they do. In the beginning, he was very clear he even communicated about that he would film all of his content in 2 days a month. So then you don't have a full-time videographer on staff, but you might work with the same freelancer over and over. So that, and I do think they work with like post-production agencies, just because there's so much content that they're creating.
But I think things have changed in time, because I remember at Unbound, your previous agency, you had an editor.
Yeah, we had an editor who had worked for Alex Hormozi, but not directly. So through another partner. So for sure, like if you're looking at the volume that they're putting out, it's what we see as well with people who come to Clipmasters. Like they want to do volume. If you hire in-house in Europe or in the US, it's going to cost you a lot. So then you find a partner that works with people globally. It's just financially it makes more sense.
Because maybe asking this, people may think like, well, because I usually would ask this in every episode, because it's actually a thing to actually build a creative team and to do it internally. If that's not your focus, of course, you act as a media. He has a media company, but the whole strategy and producing and actually doing the post-prod, they rather do the strategy, the production, and then outsource the post-prod.
Yeah, we see that a lot now. Also with the client that's coming in.
Exactly.
It's like they did it in-house, and then they realized, like any company, like it's just impossible as you grow to be good at everything in-house. It just makes more sense to then go, okay, we're going to become very good at, let's say, production. But everything after post will have a creative project manager in-house who leads that, but they're working with external partners to make that happen. That's just something that you see as companies grow. So I would assume with him, it's sort of the same. While we're talking, I'm thinking about one more thing that I do want to share about Alex Hormozi and his content strategy, which is super smart, that you can, like, that's sort of a takeaway that anyone can apply if you have the guts to do it.
Which is?
he gives a lot of stuff away for free.
Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff that he gives away for free, other people charge full on business mentorships. Like they create business mentorship programs. They charge you 10K. He's just giving all of that stuff away for free because what he is interested in with acquisition.com is down the line companies, I think, that are above 3 million revenue a year. He wants to buy part of that company, right? And he wants to help a company go from 3 to 10 to 20. Yeah. So his philosophy is, if I can teach companies that are at 100K, 200K, 300K, how to scale to 3 million, I will teach it to you for free. Show me that you have what it takes to do that. Now I'm interested in working with you and buying part of your company. Yeah. So everything, like almost everything is free. So he wrote 2 books now, I think, or 3, and a 4th is coming, like another one is coming. And with all of the books are not expensive. You can buy the Kindle for what, like, I think it was like $10 or something like that. And then you'll have links in the book to log in to his membership area. And for each freaking chapter of the book, there will be a video of him in front of a whiteboard explaining these concepts as well. And it's for free. You get that for free when you buy a book.
What I was gonna say is, I think it's free, but the product behind as well is the book. Of course, $10 when he knows.
But even with the first book, he gave so many copies away for free because he was like, I need people to know about this, and I want to get so many reviews on Amazon that it's free. It's like he priced it at like $1 because that was or 99 cents because that was the minimum. And he just told people, go get it.
Okay.
And so all of the content that he's putting out is with the idea of, okay, I do think they do events now. Of course, he gets speaking gigs that pay him very well, I'm guessing, but they make the bulk of their money from the companies that they invest in.
Because he has the mindset of building his portfolio, his business portfolio. Yeah.
But that's something that if you're listening to this and you have a brand, maybe with a more premium product or something like that, keep that in mind of like, you build so much trust with people if you just give them the stuff for free. It's something that now with us, we have the Clipmasters Academy where we train video editors who've done freelance before, but never worked in a production environment, sort of how to go to the next level. And we get a ton of applications from people who've never even edited before, but they're so eager to work with us and they want to do the program. So for us, it's also like, well, we can just show you the basics of editing for free, which is why we'll be launching a full-on YouTube channel where we teach Adobe, Premiere Pro, After Effects, all of that. Like, go learn it for free. And then if you're ready to go to the next level, that's when we will train you. I firmly believe in that, but you have to have a long-term mindset.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of people, not just who come to us, but a lot of people in general are looking at creating content or building a business and going, how can I make as much money as I can in the next 90 days?
No, he did.
Whereas with Alex, he was like, in 10 years, I want to be here.
And I think this is also the mindset we have with this podcast. Like, we are starting now. There are not a lot of viewers, but we pretty much have a goal, a mission, or a vision that we know we're going to get. Like, we want to be able to share a lot of value, and we know we're going to be able to help people out there with their marketing strategy or their content strategy. 10 people after 10 people, and maybe, well, it's not even a maybe. I know, like, we're definitely gonna develop this.
Gain traction. Plus, there's also something really fun about not having the responsibility of a lot of pleasing a lot of people.
You can say whatever.
You can now like practice and you can make the mistakes. For example, today we figured out recording in summer sucks.
No, it's
because I am sweating. Like, this is not fun. So moving forward, we'll be like, okay, it's like September, like all through May. Let's bulk record these things, because we're not in a studio. We're in my living room, right? So this is all stuff that you sort of like
and
learn
I
along
also
the
want
way.
to point out something about that. Well, you don't need to have a studio.
No.
We made it. It's all done DIY. So you can, if you want to do it, you can do it. So there's nothing
so
like...
the place we're sitting in now is literally my living room. You can't see this, but in that corner are all the toys of my kid just pushed in one corner. We got this chair at IKEA, same with the carpet. When we're done filming, it will move into the office and this couch will move back
here.
here. And it's a broken couch because I have a 3-year-old who likes to spill things and jump on it. And then we got a bunch of cheap prints online. If you're from Belgium, you know Action. This is sort of a dollar store. Got a lot of these frames. I'm in a rental. So I didn't want to drill holes. So they're just stuck to the wall with double-sided tape. And then we have like 2 lights behind us, newer lights that I had lying around. We got these extendable arms so that we don't have to put them away every single time. We have 1 light here that we can roll into the office when we're done, and 3 cameras that we got at an outlet. And that's it. The mics we already had. And
that's right. No, you can do it. And I think we're open if you're interested. If you're listening to this, you're interested to maybe have the same setup. We can share. I know Yoka has a list of those. We can definitely share that with you, and you can start immediately.
And maybe also next time, this is also a good idea. Next time when I'm actually converting my living room to this,
that can be content.
I can record that.
Yeah.
It's just like I can't do it in my pajamas like I did yesterday, but that's fine.
Well, more content.
Because yesterday I was here, I had washed my hair and my pajamas.
And then we discovered that people actually love and I think people would love watching you setting up your living room.
It takes like a good 2 to 3 hours. And even now the setup that we have today is slightly different than last time because I didn't know where we put the light next time, like last time. But we sort of manage. But also to say, like, last time with our recording, a bunch of stuff went wrong.
Indeed.
Like we had a lens that wasn't like focusing properly. Yeah. We have a blue tube light behind Jed against the wall just to give it that little bit of extra. It would go out in the middle of an episode, which caused issues in post. So even when you're watching other people's content, don't assume that it's been easy for them to create that. There's been a lot of like back and forth and iterations on our episodes as well. And we do this like professionally.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about something about Alex before we close out. I don't know if we still have some time. His brand, because if we end this episode without speaking about his brand, because today, if you say Alex Hormozi, you have the image in your head. You have the guy in the singlet with his cap, not giving a fuck.
With the nose strip. I don't know if he still wears them, but for the longest time he had the nose strip. And then he was like, I should sell these. People ask me where I get these from.
So let's talk about his brand, the way that singularity, because today when you say Alex, you immediately visualize.
But I think you're just also talking about a guy who is just so comfortable being who he is. And so he is that person in front of the camera, behind the camera. Like when you meet him, that's just who he is. And I think that those are the brands that work the best when it is not as curated. Or at least those are the brands that I resonate with the most.
I think in general. So you're saying he's authentic, like to be authentic is... But he...
when you say that, the reason I say that's the brands that I resonate with the most is because I have a very vivid... like example in mind where that's not the case, and she still did very, very well, and it's Paris Hilton. So for the longest time, she legit made it like a caricature out of herself. Like she was like, she did the fake voice and pretended to be super dumb because to be honest, that's how most people view women. And so she played into that, but she's super smart. Her voice is completely different. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah. She has a deep voice. She's like super smart. She's actually like now advocating for like, she had a whole history of like going to boarding school where she was abused. And like, so she's advocating for that now. Like she's a very, very smart woman, but her entire brand was about pink and, oh my God. That wasn't her. It's just like she made a persona out of herself and then built her brand around that. And it still did well. So it can work. But I think for Alex, it's just, this is who he is. It's how he shows up in front of camera. It's how you would meet him at an event. And he did sort of like with the
singlet,
wife beater, and then like the shorts, but then the shorts is also a funny story. He wears shorts because his calves are so big, it's hard for him to find pants, and like, but he is a bit of a unique character just by himself. So and the only way that you become like that is by truly being who you are. Which is, again, to tie it back to what I said in the beginning of the episode, when we get people who are like, I want to be like someone else, I immediately already go like, let's try to find something that's you.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe what do you like about that? Because maybe they like one thing specific, but they feel like, I want to be that way. But no, there's actually one specific thing that you like about that person or that brand.
Yeah, you can like pick and choose. And especially in the beginning when you're starting, like it's fine to emulate someone. But I've also had clients previously at Unbound. I had one client who would every 3 to 4 months would be like, oh no, we have to now do everything like this person because this person's doing really well. But any person that you look at, Alex included, have been doing content for so long. They've done the trial and error. And so, yes, he can come with, oh, this is how I did this in 6 months. The likelihood of a new person being able to get the same results, even if they apply that strategy, are highly unlikely because there's so many other variables involved, where it's like figuring out your core messaging. How are you going to position yourself? Do you have unique qualities like Alex that you can sort of make bigger so that they become your persona? Like all of that stuff you have to figure out as well. For you, for example, you weren't comfortable on camera. We would notice it the first couple of episodes, or when we filmed the Founder Confessional, where I went like, why are you talking like this? Like, who are you trying to be? Like, this isn't you. So a complete new person, even though they might understand the strategy behind it, you can never eliminate the trial and error that you need to go through when you're learning a new skill.
And what I can say to add to that is that even the Founder Confessional, I wasn't fully comfortable, but that was still me, because I rewatched it and I was like, oh, it's fine. I can see me being shy. And that is fine, right? Because it's still me being shy, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Like that is also.
I also think you have to be kind with yourself and understand that it's a very courageous thing to do, to put yourself out there. And I understand also sort of that feeling of watching old content again and going like, oh, I just want to remove that. I want to like take it offline because I'm no longer that person, or I'm so much better at something now than I was back then.
But we keep on evolving.
But you keep on evolving, and to do that in front of the public eye is a very brave thing to do.
Definitely.
And it also shows people that growth is possible.
Sure.
And anyone who then breaks you down or gives you negative feedback is not a person you want in your life anyway. And most likely you're going to get it from people who aren't doing much.
Yeah. And I would also say negative comments are also good. It drives engagement.
Yeah.
So it's not that bad.
If you want to do really good, have someone in your team or yourself, like start to pick a fight with someone who has negative feedback, just to blow up the interactions. And that will give you extra engagement as well.
Yeah. Amazing. So key takeaways from this episode for anyone listening.
Test before creating an entire video content series. It can be on Twitter. It can be on LinkedIn, any sort of fast platform where you can just throw out your thoughts and see what the feedback is. Don't be afraid of the trial and error phase to figure out what your unique voices and your unique style, and then just do a lot, but do it consistently. So Alex Hormozi, I think at a certain point was doing 80 pieces of content a week. For most people, that is not attainable unless you work with someone like Clipmasters, for example, who can pull that off and repurpose a bunch of stuff. But just start and then be consistent at it, and like evolve while you learn things. And then also long-term vision.
That's important.
Say that's really important. So instead of going, oh, I now need to make Instagram Reels because tomorrow I need to make 10K. No, okay, what's the 2-year plan, 5-year plan? What stuff can you give away for free so that you can build trust is a big one. And to be honest, what you do see is like the people who give the most of their stuff away for free do the best in the long run.
Yeah.
If you're constantly thinking about how can I monetize this little thing or how can I monetize that little thing, you might make some money quicker than like the other person, but in the long run, the other person's going to make a lot more.
So it's all about bringing value.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for listening. And
subscribe, like, comment, and share it with someone who might find this interesting. And then we will talk to you in the next one.
Peace.